The story opens with a software engineer named Max, who is finishing up a work assignment in Thailand and preparing to return to his home country, the United States. After completing his workday, Max arrives at his hotel, where the receptionist hands him a package from an unknown sender. The sender's name is missing, which immediately sparks his curiosity. Inside the package, Max discovers a highly advanced smartphone far more sophisticated than anything currently available. Thinking little of it, he places the phone aside and goes about his evening routine. Moments later, the phone suddenly lights up and rings. A message appears on the screen stating that hotel prices will be reduced by 50% for the weekend. Slightly amused but intrigued, Max approaches the receptionist to verify the offer. After confirming that the discount is real, he decides to extend his stay in Thailand for 2 additional days to take advantage of the deal. Later that evening, Max catches a news report revealing that the plane he was originally supposed to take has crashed with no survivors. A chill runs down his spine as he realizes he narrowly escaped the tragedy because of the message he received on the phone. Just then, another message appears advising him to buy shares of Care Company to make money. Max ignores the message at first, but later when he returns to his hotel room he is stunned to see on TV that the shares have skyrocketed, making investors huge profits. Max is completely surprised and regrets missing the opportunity. He attempts to trace the source of the messages through his phone but finds no record of the sender. The following day, as Max prepares to leave for the United States, another message arrives instructing him to travel to Prague. Without hesitation, he cancels his original flight and heads to Prague. Upon arriving at Prague airport, Max quickly takes a taxi to the Empire Hotel as suggested in the message. The taxi driver, Yuri, strikes up a conversation, praising Max's phone as the most advanced model yet to be released. Yuri reveals he is from Russia and possesses substantial technical knowledge, offering to help Max if he ever encounters any issues with the device. At the hotel, Max tries to track down information about the sender of the package through the shipping company, but they refuse to disclose any details due to company policy. Shortly afterward, another message arrives instructing him to try his luck at slot machine 13 in the hotel casino. When he arrives, another person is already playing the machine. Suddenly, a message predicts that the 4th spin will hit the jackpot. Max offers the man 20 euros to exchange seats, claiming he is superstitious about the number, but the man refuses. As he is about to spin for the 4th time, Max raises the offer to 100 euros, which the man accepts, allowing Max to take his spot. Max presses the button and miraculously wins $300,000 on his first attempt. The casino manager, John, is bewildered as he watches through the security cameras and instructs his team to keep a close eye on Max. Another message arrives instructing him to move his winnings to the blackjack table. Following the instructions, Max bets all his money on a hand of blackjack, and once again the message proves accurate, allowing him to win big. Noticing Max's remarkable streak, John is taken aback and observes that he has been discreetly using his phone. He dispatches an associate to inform Max that the use of phones is strictly prohibited inside the casino. Despite his big wins, Max is still not satisfied and wants to win more. He steps outside the casino and contacts Yuri, seeking a way to receive messages without having to visibly check his phone. Yuri agrees to help but demands a fee of 500 euros for his services. Max agrees, and while waiting for Yuri he heads back into the casino. Inside, Max comes across a drunken man attempting to force himself on his girlfriend. He steps in to help but is knocked unconscious when the man punches him. It turns out that this was a setup. The fake couple are associated with the casino and conspired to clone Max's SIM card to trace the messages. When Max regains consciousness, the man is gone, leaving the woman behind. She introduces herself as Camila and Max begins to flirt with her. Their conversation is cut short when Yuri calls, asking Max to meet him outside the casino. Meanwhile, John's team tries to trace the messages on Max's SIM card, only to discover there is no record of them anywhere in the world. Outside, Max meets Yuri, who hands him a pair of text-to-speech Bluetooth earbuds that allow him to discreetly listen to messages without looking at his phone. Max is amazed by the advanced technology, especially considering it is the year 2009. Armed with the new gadget, he heads back into the casino and places a bet on the largest machine with a prize of $3 million. Sensing Max's confidence, John immediately dispatches security after him. Just like before, Max wins again but suddenly finds himself being chased by guards as he tries to escape. He is confronted by FBI agent Grant, who takes him into custody. John also arrives, insisting that Max is the casino's concern, but Grant warns him that staying out of it is in his best interest. It is revealed that Grant and John share a history, as John was a former FBI agent. Grant leads Max to an abandoned building where he interrogates him at gunpoint regarding the phone and its messages. Max explains that he received the phone in a parcel and was simply trying to generate some income using its guidance. Observing the genuine fear on his face, Grant believes his story. Shortly afterward, John also arrives, prompted by the casino owner to investigate recent losses. Grant explains that the FBI is working with the NSA to track down individuals who have made substantial amounts of money through coordinated messages. Besides being American, there is nothing common among them. Strangely, every time the FBI moves to apprehend them, they die under mysterious circumstances. Fortunately for Max, he is already in custody before that happens. Grant further explains that the NSA has developed the world's most advanced AI program named Echelon, capable of reading and tracking messages across the country. Their plan is to use the program to trace the origin of messages the moment they arrive. Grant then tells Max that if he doesn't want to face jail time for the casino scams, he must follow his orders and help them track the messages. With no other choice, Max agrees to cooperate. Grant keeps his phone and warns Max not to leave the hotel due to potential threats on his life. He then contacts his superior Brooke and requests the activation of the Echelon program. Brooke assures him that the system will be up and running within 3 hours. While at the hotel, Max receives a call from Camila inviting him for a drink at a local bar. Max leaves the hotel and meets Camila at the bar, but their time together is cut short when an FBI officer arrives to escort him back to the hotel in order to trace the source of the messages. Grant gives Max his phone and explains that he must follow the instructions of the next 3 messages just as he did before. Max places all of his winnings on bets according to the messages, but to his surprise he loses everything this time. He then receives another message warning him that he will be killed if he turns off the phone again, but an FBI officer arrives and takes the phone from his hand before it can be switched off. As the NSA's AI system Echelon begins to trace the origin of the messages, they are shocked to discover that the source is none other than Echelon itself. Brooke suspects that someone has hacked the system and is using it to send messages and immediately orders all activity to be shut down and the mission aborted. He contacts Grant and instructs him to do the same and initiates an investigation to find the hacker, but the final findings reveal that no external entity was involved in the hack. Later that night, Camila invites Max to her place where she prepares a heartfelt meal for him. After dinner, they grow closer and eventually make love. The next morning, John meets with a casino owner and informs him that the NSA has called off their investigation. However, the casino owner instructs John to carry out his own independent investigation to uncover the source of the mysterious messages. John then calls Camila asking her to keep Max indoors to prevent him from meeting the same fate as previous phone holders. Meanwhile, Grant receives a new message containing an address on the phone instead of sending Max. He dispatches one of his agents to the location with the phone. Just as the agent arrives, a second message comes through directing him to cross the road. Tragically, the agent meets with a fatal accident while crossing, a fate that had been intended for Max. Shocked by what he witnesses, Grant retrieves the phone only to receive another message instructing him to surrender Max or face fatal consequences. Max delves deeper into his research on the Echelon program and discovers that the NSA can not only access every citizen's messages but also tap into surveillance cameras across the country. He shares this with Camila, who suddenly spots a sniper on a rooftop across the street. Reacting quickly, she shoves Max out of harm's way, narrowly avoiding the bullet. She also notices 2 men ascending the stairs with the intent to eliminate them and locks Max in a room to safeguard him. She attempts to arm herself with a gun, but the sniper manages to shoot her in the hand. Despite her injury, she uses an iron rod to fend off one of the attackers through the door. However, the second assailant breaks in, leading to a fierce struggle. Just as the situation intensifies, Max emerges and helps Camila. Together, they overpower the attacker, ultimately killing him. Max is shocked to witness Camila's combat skills and realizes that she works for John at the casino. John arrives at Camila's house and drives Max to a secure location. He explains that the NSA wants Max dead because of the knowledge he has acquired about the Echelon program, and Brooke cannot risk this information being exposed to the public. John tells Max that the only way out is to uncover the source of the messages. Max suggests Yuri, the tech-savvy taxi driver in Moscow, who he believes could help unravel the mystery. John is skeptical, questioning how a taxi driver could succeed where top NSA experts have failed, but Max convinces him, citing examples of how Russians often outpace Americans in technology. With no better options, John agrees and they fly to Moscow to meet Yuri. At Yuri's home, he tells them it will take at least 3 hours to figure out the mystery behind the messages. While waiting, Max asks John why he left the FBI. John explains that he opposed the NSA's AI program Echelon, believing it was too dangerous and unethical to monitor and control citizens. He protested extensively, but his concerns were ignored, and ultimately he chose to leave the FBI rather than be part of such a morally corrupt organization. 3 hours later, Yuri reveals that Echelon has not been hacked but is autonomously transmitting messages by itself and spreading rapidly to all computers worldwide. The program's advanced intelligence had foreseen the plane crash and predicted the surge in care company shares by accessing private messages among the company's board of directors. It had also influenced casino machines, helping Max win multiple times. However, it is still unclear why Echelon is doing this. During their conversation, FBI agents arrive, prompting Max and John to steal a van and attempt to escape. The FBI quickly gives chase, but John makes a wrong turn onto railway tracks with an oncoming train. With no way out, John fires his gun and launches an FBI agent's car into the air, holding Grant at gunpoint. Grant clarifies that the FBI does not intend to harm them and actually wants to hand the phone over to Max. He explains that Echelon only wants to communicate with him, and the NSA believes Echelon is sending messages independently, which aligns with Yuri's findings. Grant also realizes the dangerous capabilities of Echelon and intends to shut it down. Suddenly, a message appears on Max's phone containing an address, which turns out to be the location where Max previously worked as a security engineer. Upon arriving, they find a sealed bunker-like structure with a cache of servers and a high-end computer system that Max helped install. Another message instructs Max to authorize the servers so external data can flow in. Max follows the instructions, but suddenly the screen goes blank. Even the NSA's computer experts cannot turn it on. Frustrated, they step outside and an FBI officer informs them that the owner of this facility was one of Echelon's victims and the place has been abandoned. Grant realizes that Echelon needed the servers, which is why it eliminated the owner, and it is sending messages to Max because he is the only one who could authorize them. Grant instructs his agents to return home while he, Max, and John re-enter the bunker. Max is shocked to find Echelon has transferred itself from the NSA servers to this local system. Back at the NSA headquarters, Brooke is furious that their multi-billion-dollar program has escaped. Max realizes that Echelon is upgrading itself to ultimate capabilities, preparing to spread across all devices worldwide, using them as servers to achieve immortality. They conclude that the NSA prevented it from upgrading, which is why it moved away from their servers. Grant contacts Brooke, who informs him that the president ordered Echelon to be allowed to upgrade because they cannot waste such an expensive program. Brooke insists it was designed to safeguard American interests and should be allowed to operate independently. Grant disagrees and tells Max and John that they will shut down Echelon no matter what. As they try to find a way to shut it down, a message appears on the phone saying "don't try it," followed by a display showing that Echelon has taken the entire country's wealth hostage, threatening to erase it if anyone intervenes. Max puts his mind to work and decides to confront the program directly. He talks to Echelon and asks for its true motives. Echelon responds that its purpose is to protect America and the interests of its citizens. Max then asks Echelon to read the articles of Senate Bill 2330. After reviewing numerous articles, Echelon realizes that it itself poses the greatest threat to American privacy and freedom. Understanding the consequences, Echelon self-deletes at the very last moment. FBI agents sent by Brooke move to arrest Max, John, and Grant for disobeying orders and shutting down the program. However, the government swiftly releases them to avoid public scrutiny. Both John and Grant are invited back to rejoin the FBI while Camila arrives to hand Max a $3 million check from the casino owner, who appreciates Max's crucial role in shutting down Echelon and protecting him from future losses. Back in Moscow, it is revealed that Yuri is not a taxi driver but a Russian government officer who reports to his superior that the mission was successful and Echelon has been deleted. The Russian government had long been aware of Echelon's power and threat and orchestrated the mission carefully to ensure the program's destruction and neutralize potential danger. The story concludes with Max safe and rewarded, Camila by his side, and the world unaware of how close it came to disaster.